Yesterday class we did a flex box. We displayed the product card, right? Basic order. So I click and open with live server. Let's see if you open the live server. Yeah. I think it's coming like this, right? We have the first card, second card, third card, whoever is there. Hover means what it is transforming, and transforming means what conversion. Transition means what? Transition means transition, right? Good. That is called transform and transition. So in the first row, how many cards we have total here? 6 cards we have. So you can write the gap property. Yesterday class we written the main div. Under the main div we applied the container class, right? This is a container class. So container class we apply the display what format here? Flex format. Flex format means what? Data coming as rows and column. Enable the flex behavior. Enables what? Flex behavior. Now you can see the point here. The flex is a response layered, and response layered cards can shrink and wrap. Mm. Card will be what? Shrink, right? Shrinking means what? Going for the smaller size without breaking the design. Yeah. So display the flex blocks means what? Activate the flex container so that we can apply the flex wrapper. Flex wrap means what? Wrapper. Wrap means what? The items are coming as one row, right? One row filled with the content, then it data comes to what? Second row. Like that row by row is coming, right? Good. So next one is a gap between the item. So we return the property like, gap property. Gap property is what? Gap between the item to item. So we specify that 10 gap means what? The gap is reduced. If you increase that 20 means what? Some the gap increased. 30 means what? Gap is increased, right? There's a gap between the item. After that, like, we apply some property like, gap property. Next is a flex direction. So guys, flex direction means like, by default that is coming as a row format. So item 1 is displayed, item 2 is displayed, item 3 is displayed. The data is by default coming as what? Row format. If you go for the second one is like, row reverse. So row reverse means like, you can write the flex direction. By default row coming, row reverse, you can take the property. See, the row reverse means what? See, first of all, Oi, yeah, flex direction is what? Row property. See, flex direction row means just you can see the property. First, what it is coming here? Something like, beans coming, right? Beans, beetroot, and, like, bendy, these all are coming. So there's a flex row format is coming. Let me make the flex direction is what? Row reverse. If you take the row reverse means like, row reverse. Now see the brinjal is coming to like first row, right? Brinjal is what? Previously, what the first element? Beans. Now it is coming as what? Beans are brinjal. Brinjal, right? So it means what? Row reverse. Row is what? Reverse, right? Yeah. So by default, row items visualization is like, item 1, item 2, item 3, like this. Row reverse means what? Item 3, item 2, item 1, right? Exactly. Yeah, that is called row format. Row and row reverse. And like next one is you can write the column. You can go with what? Column. So guys, that is column coming as like, straightforward, right? This is the column wise it is coming. It's not like row wise. Row means what? Horizontal. Column means what? Vertical, right? Column means what? Vertical. Vertical is coming, just you can make the column reverse. Now you see, previously it is like, first one is the, yeah. So column reverse. So first one is like, I think first one, last one have the same date, I think, right? That's what it is showing the information like this. You do one thing. Last two items are same items you taken. Fine. That is called what? Flex direction. See, flex direction, we have the 4 properties. What are 4 properties? Tell me. Row property, row reverse, column and column reverse. This is a flex direction. Next one is the justify content is there. So you justify content like, align the item horizontally by default, like, main axis. Main axis is nothing but x-axis, guys. Arrange the items what? Vertically, by default in main axis. Because this is called flex start, flex end. Tell me, center is there. So here you can write the justify content. Coming to justify content, you can write the flex direction is like, we write the row reverse better. You can make it as a row reverse. Yeah, that's like, flux direction is coming. See, first is a field with already six cards, right? So no worries. Second item, you can check it. Second row contains how many items? Three items, right? Second row contains how many items? Three items. Justify content, we can write. Justify content, like, flux start. Flux what? Start. Flux start means you can observe the, like, the differentiation here. Row reverse you taken. Justify content is what? Items are aligned from what? Left to right. Items are aligned from the right to left. Okay, flux end. Flux center means what? Items are centered in the row, right? Items are what? Centered in the row. Centered in the row like this. Okay, now let me apply the flux start and you can apply the flux end. 1, 2, 3, 6 items are there. And justify content, like, just let me make the center ones. Yeah. Justify content is center. This is center, right? Generally write the flux start. Container is what? Flux, right? Wrapping is there. Gap is what? 30 pixel. Flux direction is what? Row reverse. Justify content is what? Flux start. And the space between, let me apply once. Space between property can apply. No, I think it's not applying. Space between, and you can write the space around is there. No content, actually, no change is done. Justify content is not working. Why it is not working? Not working. Flux direction. Justify content. Oh, actually, justify content bottom side already we have the justify content. That's what it is not working. Now, justify content is what? The center. Now, see, anyhow, that is a center. Then you can write the flux start. Now, see, yeah, now it's working. Previously, here bottom side also we have one property, justify content property is there. That's why it is not coming. So justify content means what? Flux start. It means starting from what? You see, by default, if you comment this property, now you see the data here. Click on the refresh. What is this file here? This.html, right click on what? Open with live server. This is the data. Flux start. Let me apply the flux end. Flux end means what? Right side is coming. Flux start means what? Left side is coming. Flux end, flux start. Direction, flux direction, that is okay. Row reverse you can apply, it's not a problem. Then you can write the flux start. You can apply what? Flux start. Flux end. Flux. Okay, we taken the row reverse, right? Okay, fine. Now you can write the flux end. This one is like by default ending is there, no? Row reverse means values are reversed, right? Flux start and you can write the flux end. Yeah, ending is coming. Flux start and flux end. You see that, like, justify content is what? Center. Now see, guys, you see the bottom elements here. This is coming as what? Center, right? Yeah, completely is coming as a center format. So you can justify content, like, flux start, flux end, justify content we have, and space between is there. Now you see the space between, justify content, like, space between. Space between means, now you see last cards, you can see we got the space between the elements, right? We got only 3 items, space between. It means equal space is taken for the last row. You check the only last row. Last row is coming as what? 3 cards, right? That's what in general you'll write the center property is good. What property? Center. Center means what? That all are coming as what? Center. That is like, space between, between means what? Three cards are coming like, space between. Uh, First row already row filled with the data, right? First row we can't make it any changes because that is responsiveness. That's like, if you increase the font size, automatically coming, right? Page size increase, the number of cards are increasing, automatically data will come. See, you cannot make see, this data is coming from what database generally. The data coming from database means we cannot guarantee that like, completely occupied alignment, right? మొత్తం ఆక్యుపై చేస్తే మనం చెప్పలేం కదా సో ఎనీహో లాస్ట్ రో కంటైన్స్ త్రీ ఐటమ్స్ ద త్రీ ఐటమ్స్ అలైన్ ప్రాపర్లీ జస్టిఫై కంటెంట్ ద కంటెంట్ షుడ్ బి లైక్ సెంటర్ అంటే ఏమొస్తుంది లైక్ ద డేటా ఇస్ కమింగ్ as సెంటర్ ఫార్మాట్ you may ask the question like sir you can fix all the items properly no? But the items are not in our hand. The items are coming from what? Database you don't know how many records they inserted, how many records they are like aligned, right? That's what the problem. So that's what guys, you can write the space, what you can say here? Justify content is what? Space between. Space between means what? Last two all are coming as what? Space between the data, right? And you write the space around. Space around means now you can check the data. And first item, this side or that side also you got some gap, right? Mm. Space between means first item, last item coming from the starting onwards. Like this is called, we can say what? Space between. First item, last item coming as first and last, right? Exactly. And we can write the space around. Space what? Around. Around means what happened? Even first card and last card also getting the space, right? Exactly. A space evenly can check it. Space what? Evenly. Space evenly means like what? Even space is between the all three cards, right? Left side, right side, gap also coming as what? Space evenly. See, most frequently justify content is what you write in here? Center. Center means what? The data is coming like that, right? Yeah, the data is what? Coming like this. But this is called flux direction and this is called justify content. So you know the flux property, guys. Display flux, enable the flux property. Flux wrap means what? One row filled with the data. The data come from the second row. Gap means what? Gap between the items. Flux direction means what? Row formatter, row reverse formatter, like that. Justify content is what? Center or space around. These are the properties, right? Yeah, good. But that is the information, guys. That is what gives you information. And that is called like, flux properties we have. Flux, enable the flux, flux of wrapping, flux gap, flux direction. Flux what? Direction, right? Good. So a point and properties and just write the properties. If you enable the flex, that is called responsive layout. Responsive layout means like, if the browser size is reduced, then what happened here? Automatically the data is shrinking, right? Yeah, if we do like this, then two items are coming. If you increase the size, items are increasing, right? Any data loss or no data loss? No data loss. That is called responsive layout. What layout, ma? Responsive. See, Flexbox is CSS layout model used to responsive layout in the card. It can shrink what? Responsive layout. Like, Flex is responsive layout. Flexbox is what? Flexbox is responsive layout. Card can shrink and smaller screen without breaking the design, right? Without breaking what? Design. Card can shrink and means what? Reduce, right? Like, smaller screens without breaking the design. All items look aligned and aligned in what? Aligned and what? Consistent manner, right? Aligned in consistent manner, which is very important in what? Hmm. Which is important in UI design. Align items are vertical and what? Horizontally. So we have the row and column format, right? So describes the space between distribute the space between what? Items, right? Distribute the space between what? Items. Distribute the space between items using making the gap properly, right? Distribute the space between items, making the gap properly. What the properties we discuss here? Display flux means what? Display flux activate the flux container. We can easily control the flux items by spacing, alignment, spacing, direction using flux properties. Flux wrap means what? All items are stay in single line. No wrap means. Wrap means what? One row filled with the data. Items are wrapped to the next row automatically. It makes the waste card responsive, right? It means what? One row filled with the data, the items are wrapped to goes to the next row automatically. It makes the card is what? Responsive, right? Gap between the item. The next one is what? Flux direction. Ryan ఒకసారి చెప్తాను. ఫ్లక్స్ డైరెక్షన్ లైన్ చెప్తాను. You see the data here, we got the vertical alignment. So flex direction is what? Row. Row means what? Justify content is what? Center means bottom side is coming as center. And if we write the justify content is what? Flex start or flex end. It's coming as ending phase. Flex start means what? Starting phase, that is coming like that. See, but flex direction I'm making it as a column. Then it is coming as what? Column format, right? What format? Column format. So this column I want to make it. See, sometimes you have the scrolling, right? When you take the scrolling, should be left side scrolling is there, right side scrolling is there. Like that, we have the scrolling option. See, if you write the justify content, like start or justify content is what here, end here. It's not going to work out for the vertical alignment. See, flex direction is a column means flex direction is what? Column. Then we should add the property like align items. What items? Align items. Align items are center. Align items are items are aligned like center means what? That is coming as a center format, right? The scrolling is done in the center format. Like if you write align item, see if it is a column means what? Align item will work. If it is a row means what? Justify content will work. What will work? Justify content. Align item is center. Align item is what? Flex start. It's coming from starting onwards. Flex, what you can say here, end. It's going for like right side, right? So align item, it is talking about what? Vertical alignment. What alignment? Vertical. Flex direction is what? Row. Flex direction is a row means we need to adjust what data here. Align item or justify content. Justify content. So here justify content is what? Center. Or justify content is what? Flex start. Now it is coming as what? Starting, right? So align items like the flex direction is a row means what? Justify content will work. Align items like flex direction is what? Just you can take the column. Align items are what? Flex direction is the column. Column direction means what? Justify content will work. Align items will work. Align item is what? Center, right? Align item is what? Center. Data is coming as what format here? Center, right? Good. Yeah, like that we'll use the next property is what? Align item properties. So guys, this is justify content property. Justify content property arrange the items what? Horizontally by default in the main axis. Flex start and control the vertical alignment of items generally cross axis using like align items. What items? Align items. Yeah, got it right. That is called justify content versus what? Align items. Right items are align items, right? Exactly. Because please check this one small code here. So we have the div tag. We have the div tag. Yeah, we have the div tag. So if you write the div tag like this, if you write the div tag, span tag is the one div contains what? Span and this is called returns or something like that. And second div tag contains what? Span tag and H4, right? Exactly. So generally, what is the behavior of the H4? H4 is a inline element, a block level element. H4 is the inline element, a block level element. H4 is a block level element, right? Exactly. Because it starts with the new line. It starts with the new line means it's a block level element. Span is an inline element, same line. H4 is what? Block level element. So first name is taken, then coming as what? Radhansar. Span is coming like email, then what started the new line, right? Or the new line here. And rathan@gmail.com, something like that. Email ID. Now you see the output of this code here. Open with live server. Open with what? Live server. See, first you return what tag? Span tag. Next, H4. H4 is coming as what? New line. And this one is what? Email. And email is a span tag. Span tag, next one is what? Starting with the new line, right? See, when you start the H4 is starting with what? New line. Because H4 is the block level element, right? Heading tags are what? Block level elements. In general, block level elements will start with what? New line. That's what H4 is starting what? New line, right? Good. But what is my requirement like, even though this is like, we have the H4. H4 is what element here? Block level element. But I should come along with this name. ఆ నేమ్ పక్కనే రావాలి. Generally, block level elements are starts with a new line. But you want to get in the new line, I want come along with the first like inline, inline. Yeah. So in general, block level elements are starting with what a new line, but I don't want to make it as a new line. I want to make it as what in the first line itself. To make the first line itself, guys, just you can write I'm writing simply inline style. Inline style displays what? Displays like inline block. Displays what inline block. So these are rarely used. So inline block concept is there. Inline block is there. Just let me have some margin here. Margin like top margin, no margin, and top right margin, no margin, bottom margin, no margin, left margin. Let me give some 5 pixel. I'm giving the left margin is what 5 pixel. Yeah. Now you see the name and Ratan sir is coming as what same line and next line. It means even though it is a block level elements, it is coming along with what tag? Span tag, right? Along with what tag? Span tag. Even email ID also. See, ratan@gmail.com is the H4 tag. H4 tag means it is starting the new line. But you want to start the new line that should come along with the email. Along with the email. Even though it is a H4, but I need to start along with the email. Then you can go for what? Display. Display what? Inline block. And let me take the margin property here. Top margin, left margin, right margin not required. Only, sorry, top margin, right margin, bottom margin not required. Left margin I'm making here. Now see, this is a span. This is a H4. Generally, H4 should start with what? H4 should start with what? New line. But it's coming as a new line along with the same line. Same line. Because of what? Display is a inline block. See, it's like block level elements displaying in the same line, inline block. In block level elements are displayed in what? Same line, right? Exactly. So here's what the purpose of inline block. Inline block is used to get used to get what? Block level elements on the same line as a text. Same line as what? Text, right? Other inline elements. Same line as a text or what? Other inline elements. It means coming as the same line, simply can say. So generally block level elements will start with what? Block line elements will start with what? New line. But I'm starting the new line along with the same line. Along with what? Same line, right? Exactly. Apply the flex property. So just to go for the flex directions and flex direction justify content. Flex direction just we use the row property only. Rare case you go for the align is called column property. But most frequently go for what? So flex contains the row property and what? Column property. Row property and wow, column property, right? Row is handled by justify content, column is handled by align items. For the purpose of inline block, inline block is used to get the block elements on the same line. Block elements generally starts what? Block element generally starts what? Next line, right? Inline block is used to get the block elements like H4 on the same line. The same line as what? Text, right? Exactly. Hmm. Right, the point. Yeah. Hmm. పైన రాయలేదా? Justify content. No? Yeah, justify content is for the main axis, x-axis, horizontal axis. Align item is for the cross axis.